Hello everybody, this is Stonewall, and we're back in my modded Minecraft world. Now, it's been a while since I've recorded anything here, so I've actually played quite a bit, because I went on vacation for about a week and didn't record anything while I was on vacation, but just did some stuff around the base. So I'm going to do a kind of a quick review of what I've been doing. So you see I've got out one of my lava drums that I filled up a long time ago. I figured out, or I did a little bit of research, and if you put an octadic capacitor in your Stirling generator, it'll let you burn lava buckets, which is pretty cool. I'll explain this here in just a little bit, but I upgraded to a vibrant capacitor bank. Each one holds 25 million RF. And I had to use octadic capacitors. I'll show you the recipe for this. I used my 2 capacitor banks and then made a second one here. I wound up using both of these recipes, but anyways, used some of the emeralds that I got from trading with villagers and mining in the Extreme Hills biome to do that. I'm still running these culinary generators. At some point I will probably do a little bit of work and get these up to some of the X8s, but I need to be able to make a QED and get some of that stuff going. That might be something I can do this episode. We'll just have to see. I expanded my little XP tank over here. It's 2 deep by 3 by 3, I guess you could say, and I've been using my berries from the berry bushes over here. These, I'll stand on the grate and run through all of those. I processed down a lot of the aluminum and stuff, but I think I put that in my regular base. You'll see I got some stuff going here. This is my blast furnace I made, processing down some steel, and I actually went ahead and made 2 coke ovens. And they're actually getting close to full, so I'm going to have to work on a solution for the creosote oil. The biggest problem is most of what that can be used to generate power and things like that. Most of that, you'd actually need more coke ovens to keep it rolling, but I could use it some. We can look up here. Got some inderium, gold, aluminum here, kind of low on fuel, but I got my fuel tanks here. Lava tanks. There we go. So I'm probably going to upgrade my crossbow bolts today with some inderium. Is one of the things I can do. I've actually harvested from these ender lilies a couple of times, and they're getting kind of close. 86%. I've been breeding my cows, so got quite a few here, and I'm glad I built this a little ways away from my base so I don't have to listen to this all the time. So anyways, so that cable that was going into my capacitor bank, let's go up here and have a little look at what I built. So this is a redstone solar panel. Let's see here. Hopefully that zombie don't attack me. There he is. Alright. So there's a bunch of different solar panels, but I'm going down this path from solar expansion. And I'll actually make another one of these here in a minute. So the first one only generates 1 RF per tick, and this is just during the daylight. So it's fairly cheap, mostly using nuggets. This is part of the reason I wanted the steel and why I'm using my blast furnace. And then hardened, it requires 8 of those, and it generates 8 per tick. And then the redstone one takes 8 hardened solar panels, and it generates 64 RF per tick. So it's pretty nice. It's, let's see here, that would be actually faster than both of the culinary generators, but just during the day. And let's see, just got a cable running straight down into my base from here. It was actually pretty good. I think I wound up digging straight up using my jetpack to get up, and ran into my smeltery. So anyways, so that's what's there. So yeah, I've got the materials together to do another one of these, and eventually I'm gonna get up to some of these next tiers. So this one takes 8 of these 64 RF ones, and it'll do 512. The top tier will do 32,768 RF per tick. But if you do the math, you need about 32,000 of these. So, you know, there's 8 for each one of these. There's 64 of those first ones for each one of these. So it's a little bit time consuming. There are a lot of steps in crafting. So that's probably what we're going to start off with right here. Alright, so let me stow away some of this stuff. Problem is, I'll make chests that I'm going to use for temporary storage and wind up just throwing a bunch of stuff in there and it stays in there. So I'm going to throw some of this stuff out. Put my helmet back on. Oh, and one time while I was mining, I filled up my inventory and my tier 2 bag, but I'd come up on a spider spawner in a mine shaft and got enough string to make another bag, so I used that to store some extra ores and stuff like that. We can look in here. Lapis shards are just like nuggets and to ingots, same ratio there. And oh yeah, the steel, I've got half a stack in here. You can just kind of see some of the stuff I've been doing. Energetic alloy, vibrant alloy. My dark steel is starting to run a little bit low, mainly because I'm using it for the dark steel balls for my grinder here, or my sag mill. So let's, with the exception of this stuff over here, this is what it takes to make one of these redstone solar panels. So let's pull this stuff out, and the cool thing is I don't have to convert these to ingots at all. I can just use the ore berries. So let's get to work on this. So the first thing we need are these photovoltaic cells. So if you look at this, you need 3 of them for each one, which means we need 3 stacks of everything else here. So actually, I may not have enough stuff on me yet. So these, and make a stack of those. And then let's do this. What am I missing? Yep. I did my math wrong. That's alright. Alright, so I was coming out here to get some more ore berries, and I noticed that this was fully matured. So let's harvest this. So you only get 1 ender pearl a piece, so it's not near as fast as if I was downstairs killing endermen at my spawner, but it's still another source. So anyways, I'm gonna keep working on this. Be back in a minute. Alright, there's the last one. So I think all we gotta do is that. Now, we've got our 64 leadstone solar panels, which theoretically we could lay all of those out and still get the same amount of production, but we're going to compress this down into one single block. So the next thing we need is a few more of these. Let's see here. Yep, that's right. So we do need 9 of those. And then we need 8 hardened, which are going to be for these hardened solar panels, and then 1 redstone solar core. So this one's Electrum, the one before it is Invar. The next one requires Enderium, which is not bad. The only problem is it takes a ton of glass to make these things. So if you think about it, each one of these photovoltaic cells is 3 panes, which doesn't sound like much, but whenever you think it takes 3 stacks of photovoltaic cells to make one of these, which means it takes 9 stacks of glass panes, it adds up pretty quick. So anyways, let's craft these hardened, and that's only 7. What am I missing? I thought I made 8 of those. Oh, no, I did my math just a little bit wrong again. Don't mind me, I'm just messing everything up. Alright, so another one of these, and then one more hardened one. So now I've got nuggets of stuff everywhere. There we go. Alright, that should work. Good. Or no, all I needed was the Invar. I didn't have enough Invar on me. Anyways, so I'll probably use that at some point if I keep making these. Throw some of this stuff back in. I've been getting some ender pearls lately. And let's run up here. Oh, I put my glider away. And connect this in. So if I open up the right bag, I've got some more energy conduits, and these will handle 640 RF per tick. So until I get like 10 of these things out here, these will work just perfectly. And I think I can just do it like that. And hook this in, and that should be producing. So let's go down to our little capacitor bank here. It's up at 166 RF going in. So this is not producing at all. Let's see what happens when I do this. Should jump up a bit, up to 238. So each one of these is doing 28. Not sure what my computer's doing. Each one of these is doing 28, which is 56, I think. And then 2 panels up there is doing 128, and then this is doing 80. So decent for having all these different sources, and it's not really costing me much. I wonder if the sun's going down, because that number's dropping. Let me go outside and see. Yeah, it's getting just a little bit darker, so the solar panels aren't working as well. So that's kind of cool that they do it that way. Alright, so next thing on the list. Alright, so I'm thinking the next thing we're going to do is the QED. And it's kind of funny, the thing in parentheses changes just about every time you check it. So right now it's the Quacky Ender device. Alright, so it's a type of crafting table, but it uses a lot of obsidian and a lot of ender pearls in here. 4 diamonds, I think about 4 or 5 ender pearls for this, and then there are some I think ender crystals or something. Where are they at? Yep, right there, ender flux crystal that I've got to be able to make. And the more of these I have, the faster it will craft. And the main reason I want it is these extra utilities generators. You'll see the X64s and the X8s means they generate power a whole lot faster, or at a higher rate. They also use items faster though, so you gotta definitely have a good supply. So the main thing I was looking at is this culinary generator to run through some of that toast, but you have to have an energy transfer node, which requires crafting in the QED. So I'm going to work on getting a QED made this episode. I probably won't set it up yet. I might actually make a special room for it. Oh, now it's the quantum emission decompiler. Alright, so let's look in here. How much obsidian do I have? We'll see if that's enough. And grab a few ender pearls. And I think there's some few diamonds involved in this. Wait a second. Oh, there it is. It's going blind for a second. I didn't see my stack of diamonds. Alright, let's make some of that. I don't remember how much exactly I need, so I'm just kind of crafting this. Okay, burnt quartz. So, is that the only way to make? Okay. So I can just use nether quartz. I need 4. That. For now. Alright, let's see if this, still some glass in there from earlier. Hopefully this will work right. Yep, burnt quartz. That was fast. Made an octadic capacitor and put in there so it processes things a lot faster. Alright, so let's make this computation matrix. Then I need 2 eyes of ender, which is going to be no problem. There we go. And then I like it. I like how this crafting station works whenever you've got a chest next to it. It's kind of nice. There we go. Now it's the quite elegant device. I'm not sure how often it changes, but it's kind of funny. So now we need the ender flux crystals. So here, which is just the ender infused obsidian and more eyes of ender. So let's make a couple of these. I'm actually gonna have to make some more ender infused obsidian. Do that. Alright, and yep. There we go. So let's actually do one more, since I went ahead and made the ender eyes for it. There we go. That's even with 3, it's going to be really slow, but oh, no, it's quantum entanglement diviner. So it's, oh, quail eating ducks. Interesting. So anyways, that's the QED, and I'll be able to make the energy transfer node probably next episode with that. So let's actually put this in my bag. Just some of the stuff there. I'm gonna need to go get some more obsidian to make dark steel and more of those crystals. So if you look at the X64 generators, they actually take something a little bit different. So this is a hyper energy transfer node. It takes 4 regular energy transfer nodes and a bedrockium ingot. So bedrockium is what I've been kind of working on with my cobblestone generator down here. I mean, it's really slow. I could make some, but it would take, if you noticed, about a block of diamond each, which is not too bad if I just want 1 or 2 pieces. But if I'm trying to make like the bedrockium drum or something like that, it could get a little bit expensive. Where is it at? Is it in here? Yeah. So the bedrockium drum takes 6 pieces of bedrockium. So that would be 6 blocks of diamond, which would be almost a stack. Not quite. So anyways, oh, by the way, I'll show you what the lava bucket in here generates a little bit over 1,000,000 RF. It's only at 80 RF per tick, but that's still quite a bit of energy from 1 bucket of lava. And this is getting kind of close to filled up. I'm going to have to do some ore processing and probably some smelting, work on some stuff with that. And I keep looking at this, just my base overall, and it's not really that good. So maybe between this episode and the next, I'll make a room for the QED. And if you noticed, I had a temporary enchanting setup over here. Really need to do something better than right there. Might make a room for that as well. and just try to make this place look better. I might make a storage room or something, turn this into more of a some type of a display or something like that. So anyways, I'm going to try to do a little bit of work like that. I'm go check. This might be ready. Is it? Nope, still at 86%. Kind of close. So this is full. Every now and then I'll come by and drop a bucket of lava in there if it gets close to empty. But this has been working pretty good. I've got over a stack of copper out of it, and so that stuff. This is the way I go through my essence berries. I just stand on my XP drain and hold it down and watch the levels rise. And listen to the music, of course. But anyways, I think that's going to be it for this episode. We didn't get a lot done, but we did add to our energy production. So that's kind of a, oh, it's counting up just a little bit. Sun's coming up, so the solar panels are starting to work a little bit. Now, there are some other solar panels. I don't know if they work with RF. I do know they work with the EU, which is like from Industrial Craft. And there's actually some hybrid solar panels that generate energy while it's dark. So, but it requires some kind of crazy stuff. I need a molecular transformer, and I guess that's 1 million EU. Yeah, it gets expensive. And uranium. I mean, I've got a decent amount of uranium that I can process through. I'm assuming this will be the same stuff, but the biggest question is if it will work with this power setup I've got here. And I really need to. Soon I'm actually going to have to expand this and make some more capacitor banks. So anyways, and I might actually make some of the the redstone energy cells, because they're pretty nice to store stuff. So this will store, a resonant energy cell will store 80 million RF, which is more than these two, because this is 2 blocks right here that's storing the 50 million. So I might make some of those to kind of add into it, that kind of thing, and be able to move them around. So anyways, this is Stonewall signing off. I'll see you in another video.